Hello, welcome back to More Fun Fixing It. I've rebranded my channel. I hope you like it. If you don't, oh well. I've got a C64C here to repair. This appeared first some time ago in a repair pile video, and I diagnosed the fault. Well, I didn't diagnose the fault. I found that there was a fault. Paul actually wrote on this one, all works until play, square blocks on screen. So what I think he's saying there is that as soon as he's loaded something, he's getting square blocks on the screen. I wasn't sure what was going on with this, so I put it to one side to look at in a further video. This is that video. So if we open it up and have a look, you can see it's a short board and it's already free of its... I'm going to leave it in there because in case there's anything metal on the workbench. But let's plug it in and have a look at the fault. So if I just turn it on with nothing plugged in at all, we get the right amount of bytes free and the screen looks good. There's no problem there at all. And if I plug in a diagnostic cartridge, a normal diagnostic cartridge, and run this, I'll let this run through. I'm just going to wind this, or fast forward this bit. So you see here it's testing the color RAM, saying that it's okay, but if you look at certain parts of the text on the screen there's bits where like the CA on cassette and the US on user, and these two OKs next to RAM test 1, it's very loud, next to RAM test 1 and 2 are slightly red, and the border around the this section here at the bottom, that doesn't look right to me. I thought that was either all red or all blue. I thought it was all red. So I think it's color RAM, but I wasn't sure. While the cartridge is in there, I'm just going to put it onto DES test. Oh, that's DES test. This is the original DES test, and see what this says. Because this, I think, yeah, this does go to the color RAM, the second to last one there. I wonder if that picks it up. Right, should be now. Yes, it's picked up that the color RAM is faulty. Excellent. And just for completeness, I'm going to put in my new DES test switch cartridge and try that one. It should do exactly the same thing, but just with some lines in the border. So this is the color RAM. Yep, it's picked it up again as faulty. Stop the video. So there's a problem here that I wasn't aware of at the time, but it's now fixed. I just wanted to point out here that the DES test switch code that I was using here, it was actually faulty. I shared this screen with Matt Desmond, and he pointed out that this shouldn't happen, that this screen was actually a screen full of garbage. And this has led to Matt actually updating the code to fix a problem. But I'll get to that later in the video. I just wanted to make you aware that this screen is not correct. On with the video. Now, my first fear was that this was a later revision where they'd incorporated the color RAM into the Super PLA, but it's not. It's here. It's this one. U19 is the color RAM. It's still on this revision. So I've got this board here, which I think is the same. Yeah, it's the same revision. Although that says revision 4, and this is revision A, but it's still got the color RAM on it. And I think that I will take this off of here. I'm pretty sure I can take color RAM off of most bread bins or whatever. So, and I've got a few parts boards, but I'm going to take it off of this one. It's already had the solder removed from most of the points, but I don't remember doing this. It might have been me. But this one here looks quite solid. I'm going to give that a reflow and take the solder out again. That's much better. This could have been me, and It might have been me experimenting with my desolder station, with my Hakko desoldering gun. I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of solder here in between the legs. And what was happening with my Hakko, it was blowing before it was sucking. So yeah, I'm going to have to heat this from above. Yep, let's get the hot air station. I was a bit more brutal with that one than I would normally be. Oh, pretty. Because this is a scrap board. Let's get this one out of here. Nice. Right, so this is the suspect one. I'm just going to mark that with a silver pen with a dot and get the Retro Chip Tester Pro out. I don't think this supports it. Well, maybe it does. Let's give this one a go. I've got to clean the other one, so I can't test that one, but let's try this one. Well, it's saying dead, and it's likely that it is. So let's get this cleaned. I often get asked where I got this vise from, and I wish I could give you a good answer, but the only answer I have is I bought it at a car boot sale. Oh. I'm not sure if that is testing or not, or whether that's... Well, it's showing a different behaviour to this one, which is... Oh no, it's not. Right, okay, I don't think it's testing either of them. Let's get the Retro Chip Tester Pro out. Yep. Right, let's try the suspected good one first. Right, so that's the suspected good one. What about the suspected dodgy one? Yes, that's what we want to see. Just give it another go. I like that sound. I don't like it. It's bad. Thank you, Retro Chip Tester Pro. Bad chip. Let's properly mark that one. Right, so the next thing is a socket. 18 pins. Little bit of solder left in the holes. I'm just going to give it a little bit of braid. Looks good. Right, it's our new collar ramp. It's got nice long legs. That's a good thing. Put it in the right way. Right, let's give it a test. Straight for a standard test. Make sure I haven't broken anything. Right, that looks okay. Here we go. This is the colour RAM. Yay, it's passed. Right, so because this is the DES test switch, this will now finish the first 4K of memory testing, and then it will switch into 64K mode, and now it's testing all of the rest of the memory. This one takes a little bit longer, but it is a really thorough test of the memory, quite a reliable one, because it's doing the fabled March testing, which is really good. Why is the basic ROM, Matt, why is the basic ROM in a different colour? Is that not the proper basic ROM? Checksum? Hey. So everything's passed. Right, so the only thing I need to do to this now, the next things I need to do to this now is to test it with my C64 diagnostic harness, and then test the keyboard is working, and then this is done. Excellent. That's working perfectly. Right, so I'll put it back together and this one's done. Right, let's clear this up then. So what happened is I shared the Wall of Shame screen with Matt on BlueSky and challenged him to diagnose the fault from that code. And he pointed out that that shouldn't actually happen. But so I've asked him for a simple explanation to let us know what's happening, and this is what he says. The simple explanation is that I reworked the code a wee bit between releasing DES Test Max and sending you DES Test Switch, and I messed up a little. The detection code itself was still all good, but I messed up the recording of the addresses for the wall. The low byte of the address was saved at 00 rather than what it should have been, hence seeing D80000F00 for every error report rather than the actual bad address that you can see above. You happen to find this error in the screen RAM, though it would be the same in any area of memory. So just a plain code oopsie that I missed during my clearly inadequate tests. Not an algorithmic error or anything to do with DES Test Switch hardware or a particularly nasty C64 hardware circumstance. A silly bug. Had the screen you teased me with looked like the one above, I don't think we'd have had nearly as much fun. And most importantly, this affects nobody except you, me, and the other 5 people I've given early release code hardware to. I didn't realise that I was one of the special ones. But thank you, Matt. And what he's done is actually sent me an updated ROM, and I've popped out the DES Test Switch ROM, the original one. Nope, not on there. And burnt a new one and put it on here. So let's just quickly run through this. I'm pop this one in. This is the new DES Test Switch code. And Matt says he's made a change to the main screen as well, just to clarify that it's in max mode rather than 64K mode. I'm just putting the original bad color on in there. So it says at the top there, 4K max mode memory test. You can see that there's still some of the colors are still all over the place. Now we should get on the Wall of Shame any second all of the correct addresses for where the problems lay. So which should make it a little bit easier for somebody that knows what they mean to diagnose any potential faults that aren't obvious. Thank you, Matt, for sending me that, and I'm glad I can help in some small way. On with the video. One quick test before I put it back in its case. Perfect. So the C64C is not everybody's cup of tea, but this is my personal favourite C64. It's the one that I owned back in the day, and it's the one that I like the shape of the best, and I think it's the better machine in many ways. There might be better sounding SIDs out there, but that's a subjective thing, depends on what you're used to and what you prefer. But this, I can't really tell the difference between the different SIDs. You know, if I'm listening to a game, if you showed me a perfect sample side by side, yeah, I can see that there's a difference between them. But if you play 1943 music at me from the game, I couldn't tell you the difference between the SIDs. So the SID in this is fine for me. It's also really reliable. Everything else is a lot more reliable in it as well. They just don't go wrong as much as other computers. This one's a bit grubby. It's got some interesting colours and shades on the keys. They just mostly need a clean, but that's not my job. Really yellow on this top row, these top two rows, and cleanish on this row. So I think this is a nice one to own. Watch out for this on Paul's. He lurks around on Facebook, not Marketplace, on like the Commodore groups and the Sinclair buying and selling groups, where you don't often see me. And yeah, this one I'd say is a keeper. But yeah, I've got a whole heap of Sinclairs to take back to Paul, all repaired, and hopefully he'll have a few more machines for me to have a look at soon. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Nice. Every time I put a new machine over there, I'm waiting for that to groan and just collapse. Even though I built it and I know it's not going to do that, but there are a lot of machines over there. Maybe the shelves will go. Right, thank you, bye. This is where the off button is.